how'd you feel about Gojo's dream and
With him
character
talking
arc?
to Yuji?
Yeah, that little part. I saw a lot of commentary on that.
I've seen somewhere, I hate that I keep like regurgitating other people's opinions and what they're saying, but somebody was like, it almost feels like Gege was inserting his thoughts or saying how he felt about Gojo through Gojo, saying like, haven't we got enough of Gojo? Do we need more Gojo? It's not my fault you made this cool ass character. Like, what? It's not my fault. Why'd you make him a character then if you don't like him? I mean, I guess he has a little bit of a point. Like, even if it's not Gege talking, if it's actually Gojo, you're like, dang, bro, like, yeah, I'm him, I'm the guy, but you guys kind of have to have more than just me to fall back on, which I can agree with. But that doesn't mean you should just go and get yourself killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, the only way I can show you that you don't need me is if I'm not here. You know what I mean? Not here for good. I don't think that's the best answer.
But in the same time, he sounded like he didn't want to be forgotten.
Yeah, but...
And then they go on to forget him.
But he was also saying like, yeah, you guys should just forget about... You guys are going to forget about me anyway.
Well, he said there should be at least one of you who forgets about me.
Yeah.
And becomes stronger.
I mean, I don't think he'll ever be forgotten. He's going to go down like Sukuna in terms of Jujutsu sorcery.
Oh, for sure.
Everyone's going to know who Gojo is. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I think he had to die for plot. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, for the story, he had to die. Even though they could have just jumped him. He could have got him weak to the point where, okay, I don't know. What could they have done?
They could have done
I guess he didn't have to die. He could have been incapacitated for the rest of the fight, but weakened Sukuna to the point where they were able to start fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He didn't have
that could have happened. Especially because he's really the only person that died. That's the thing. Like, him and Chozo are the two people that died. And I feel like the casualty count for it to be so low, him dying, is like, you know what I mean? Like,
he didn't have to
all
die.
These people were fighting. He's the only one that died. The strongest person is the person that died.
I mean, I guess he could say that he bit the bullet and paved the way for them to get the win.
What does Gojo dying do, I guess?
I mean, it makes it so that they truly have to not rely on him anymore.
In the future that we'll never see.
Right. I mean, that's just the ending.
I'm just saying, I'm just asking, you know?
We'll just know in our heads that there will be no Gojo for them to rely on. But will we see what that looks like? No.
Probably not.
Really.
What does that even look like?
I mean, honestly, it ain't that different. They were doing missions by
themselves. That's what I'm saying.
Before.
That's what I'm like. What's really the difference? Because
if there's a strong enemy, they'll have to band
all
together.
The higher ups are dead. What was the only thing? What did they need Gojo for? I guess. Like, what problem showed up where Gojo was the only person that could answer it, aside from Kenjaku and Sukuna?
Gojo just gave an opposing side to the higher ups. Like, he protected Yuji and Yuta from being executed.
Right. But I mean, we already talked about how if they would have executed Yuji, half of this would have been...
Right. Not saying that he's right. I'm not saying
right.
a good guy.
But I'm just saying, no, he's saying you guys need to go on without me. But what has presented itself that showed they need Gojo? You get what I'm saying? Like, there was only one problem where it's like, only Gojo can stop this guy.
I mean, I guess just special grades in general. If we take away Gojo, there's no Yuji, no Yuta, no Megami at Jujutsu High.
He still probably would have ended up becoming a sorcerer somehow, forced into it.
I mean, Gojo just really gives them more freedom. There isn't necessarily like threats that they couldn't possibly handle. It's just that he was just a rebellious foil to the higher ups.
I guess what I'm trying to ask is, he's saying, forget about me. I want you guys to go on without needing me. But what do they really need you for?
I don't think they needed him. I think that was his point, is that they relied on him because he is the strongest.
But what did they rely on him for? What were they relying on him for?
Well, you saw, like, in the Culling games, the whole point of the Culling games was to free Gojo, because Gojo is our savior, and we praise Gojo, and he's the strongest, and we need him to fix Gojo, all our issues.
Well, I mean, the Culling games, though, is like, I mean, if we don't get Gojo out, then Sukuna's just about to do whatever he wants.
Well, that was the thing. That's what I'm saying. They're relying on Gojo. Even
though what I'm saying...
But Gojo's like, you all have the potential to beat strong opponents. You don't need me.
Right. All I'm saying is that, one, this situation is only here because of Gojo.
Oh yeah, Gojo is the
starter
of these issues.
Right.
A lot of these issues.
But I guess, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is they rely on him, and you're saying he's like, why are you guys relying on me? You don't need me.
Right.
What I'm saying is there's really only been one situation where they really needed him, was to fight Sukuna. That's the only situation where it's like we need Gojo. If we don't have Gojo, it's and I guess Shibuya too.
Right.
But like I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying.
Gojo is both. I think you're getting flustered by it because Gojo is both the causer of his own issues and the solver of his own issues because he causes most of the problems in JJ.
Right. So he's saying like you guys don't need me.
You guys
You're
don't
right. We
need
don't need
me
you,
to
but these
fix
are your
the
problems.
issues that
These
I'm
are
creating.
these are the issues you're creating. You're creating these issues, and then we're like, "Hey, fix these issues," and you're like, "You guys don't need me." What do you mean? This is your fault. You caused this.
When he was talking to Ajichi and Shoko, he was like, "I was even passing on my missions to my students so they would get stronger." And Ajichi was like, "Or you're just lazy." Like I feel like it's like that. Like he literally causes so much. And he just like gives it to his students, and he's like, "Come on, guys, handle that."